Hello, my beautiful ducklings. Today I want to talk to you about how often to say your manifestation story. So when we're talking about our manifestation story, I get a lot of questions, and every person I talk to actually asks me, how often do you say your manifestation story? This is Susie. Welcome back to the garden, my beautiful ducklings. I'm going to use something that I actually manifested this week as an example of how often you would need to say your manifestation story. So I've been looking for a new chair for my office. It's where I record my YouTube videos. It's also where I paint. So most people call it an office. I call it a studio. And I wanted a new chair for my studio. Well, I like the chair that PewDiePie has on his YouTube channel, but I hate the color pinks. If I had to pick any color to remove from the color wheel, it would be pink. Don't like it, don't want nothing to do with it, it's horrible. So I was out looking last week with my daughter on Thursday for stools or chairs for the studio. I don't want to get rid of the one that I have. I just wanted another one. So I told her, I said, I really want a PewDiePie chair. I just don't want it in pink. And she goes, well, let's go look at TJ Maxx. So we went to look at TJ Maxx. Nothing. Absolutely nothing at TJ Maxx. Everything was uncomfortable, nasty. And we got a few other things, left TJ Maxx. And the next couple of days, I really just came into my office, did a YouTube video, went in here to paint. Little one comes in here to play because she'll draw colors. She has her own little art desk in here. And I'd walk by it, and I would see the chair sitting in there, and I would think, isn't it wonderful I have a chair like PewDiePie? Or thank you, I have a chair like PewDiePie. I occasionally thought about it, which means I physically walked into the room once a day. Ophelia might have been in here a second time during the day. I haven't painted in the last couple of days. And all I did was just literally, isn't it wonderful, I have a chair like PewDiePie, or thank you, I have a chair like PewDiePie. Well, I ordered makeup Thursday from my best friend, and FedEx shows up Monday with my delivery for my makeup and another package. I have no idea where this other package came from. I assumed Alex sent it. He's like, I gotta go get the other package. Okay, left the door open. I'm opening up my makeup. He comes in, sets the box down. There's nothing on the box. I don't see anything on the box. And he leaves. Closes the door and leaves. So I finish opening up the makeup box, and I have the 4-year-old, and she's like, what's this, Susie? What's this, Susie? So we turn it around, and it's a PewDiePie chair. I call Alex, did you send me a chair? She goes, no, I didn't. So I'm flipping it around on the box, and there is a tag, and it has no name and just my address on it. So my physical street address on the box. I reached out to FedEx. They don't know who it belongs to. They said it had my address on it. It's mine. I tried getting a hold of the name of the company on the tag where it says that the chair came from. They don't know nothing about it. So I open up the box. There's no bill of sale. There's no gift receipt. There's nothing. Just the parts for the chair and how to put it together. So I asked, what am I supposed to do? And they said, well, keep it. So here's my PewDiePie chair. How often did I do it? Probably a dozen times since Thursday. That's it. It's not a lot to change your story. It's simple and easy. This is a fun, easy manifestation because there's no resistance. It shows up, it shows up. If it doesn't, I'll find another chair. No big deal. When you are manifesting a specific person, though, and everything in my reality is specific. So if it is a person, it doesn't have to be the love of your life. It doesn't have to be somebody you're trying to manifest. It could be somebody you're thinking about. It can be the love of your life. It can be somebody that you want to reconnect with, that you were friends with. It can be your best friend who you haven't talked to in a couple of days and you want to talk to them. That has emotional attachments to it. So it has to feel as natural as a Pootie Pie chair showing up. And how do you make that natural to be able to get that specific person? Well, in the past, I have tested it, and I have done 3 times a day. When I was working out a lot, I would work out 3 times a day, and I would do it during those 3 times I worked out. Other times, I've manifested a specific person. I wasn't working out, and I would do it 3 times a day when I was doing other things. And then the 3rd time I tested it and I was trying to manifest a specific person, I would consciously take time, sit down, and manifest it. What I found out that works the best was when I work out. If I go for a walk and I'm thinking of that specific person and I'm changing my story, the walk, you're doing this. And yes, I'm making noise. I'm walking. And I'm not on the sand, I'm on the concrete. So I'm walking. And I'm saying my mantras. Tony Robbins does the fist pump. That gets into the brain. So when Tony Robbins wanted to change his life, he tells everybody, he walked around and went, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I am wealthy. But he was doing it while he was running. So he was hitting the fist at the same time his feet were doing this because he's running. It's an NLP trick called anchoring. So you're actually getting something into the brain because your subconscious is hearing the stomping or the slamming. It's getting into your brain. Well, we don't want to walk around at work during our break going, I'm happily married to Jared, I'm happily married to Jared, I'm happily married to Jared, I'm happily married to Jared. So in situations like that, you'd be walking to your break room. You can run it through your head. You're walking to the break room again for lunch. You can run it through your head. Second break that day, you are thinking about, somebody was supposed to call you or text you, and you don't even think about it. Don't worry about it. Deal with the situation. In manifesting a specific person, what I actually do when I am creating that new story is I do it when it pops into my head. So if I am thinking about Jared while I'm washing the dishes, I will then run through my mantras. If I am thinking about Jared while I am walking, I'm going to do it. Now, walking, I will use as a deliberate manifestation. Painting, I zone out. I don't think anything but painting. If I am watching a TV show, and I've been watching Arrow lately, so when I'm watching Arrow, if there's a scene in there that might remind me, or I'd be like, I want my relationship to be like that, I would be like, that's why I'm happily married to Jared, because he does these amazing things like that. You don't have to set a time frame. You can think about it 86,400 seconds a day, or you can set aside 3 different sessions a day and you can think about it like I did when I was working out. The working out one worked faster for me because when I was on the exercise bike, I was watching the time, I was watching my speed. My brain was doing 3 different things at one time. When I was doing the weights, I'm one of those people who grew up old school. Weights don't clink if you're doing machines. And because of rotator cuff surgery, I do machine weights. But you don't let them slam. You don't let them clink. You have to manually push them up and down without that noise. Sometimes I do that noise, and one of the jocks will be like, you're not supposed to let them hit. And I'm like, sorry, bad day. But that clinking will help sink it into my mind. That doesn't mean I'm going to do it on 20 pieces of weights equipment in the gym, because that's going to really drive the jock nuts. But as I'm doing it, I can say my mantras, because I'm multitasking, it kind of bypasses your conscious and it sinks a little bit more into your subconscious. That is from my experience. Science will say as long as it feels natural. Well, the natural feeling is sinking it into your subconscious brain, and that's what everybody wants. So the more you do it, it doesn't mean it's going to manifest. It has to feel natural. And the way it feels natural is how you're telling yourself. If you're asking it in a question, the brain has to answer. If you are doing an affirmation but you don't believe it, maybe the fist pump or the pounding on the pavement, maybe loading and unloading a dishwasher or doing the dishes because of that clinking noise, because that is a technique that is used in NLP. What works for one, though, doesn't work for another. So you have to work on your default. Everything comes to me quickly and easily. Now, quickly can be 6 months or 60 days. I've had a client who got back together, no contact, and completely together and married in 60 days. I've had a client that has done it for a little over a year. I've had somebody else I know, it was a little over a year. Time is non-essential. It only matters if you keep saying, when is it going to happen? So you have to lose the when it's going to happen, and it will happen. It will happen. It has happened. It's here. It's done. And you just got to keep doing it. And I love when I'm walking how, I don't know how it happened, but it happened. It's all about making it feel natural. So how often you do it, there's no right or wrong answer. What works for me may not work for you. What works for my son may not work for you. What works for my client who got back together with her specific person in 60 days didn't work for every one of my clients. The biggest thing is to stop questioning how the manifestation story is going to show up. Then just ask questions on how is it I received it. It will happen. It did happen. Thank you. Isn't it wonderful? Because how often you do your manifestation story doesn't really truly matter. The only thing that matters is you persist in the assumption until it actually physically shows up. And then when it does show up, you don't stop. You continue, especially if it is a person, because your emotions are attached to that person. So when that person is there, it's no longer, thank you, that person is here. It's, thank you, I have an amazing life with that person. So if you're going to manifest and you're going to ask me how often do I say my manifestation story, what I'm going to tell you is often as you want, as long as it's forward focused and that you never stop. And it's best to come from the end. I don't know how I'm happily married to Jared, but I am. And if I did that while I was walking or running or hitting the weights, it's going to sink into my subconscious a little bit faster. If I can't do those things, well, you're doing the dishes. Wash the dishes twice a day instead of once a day. Load and unload the dishwasher every day. Run it, even if it's a small load, because that noise is helping your brain because you're in a state and you're focusing forward. I don't know if this helps you guys. If it does, let me know below. This is a question and it's how I deal with it and how I teach my clients to deal with it. So I'm trying to answer it the best way possible for you. I'd like to hear your opinions though. So tell me what tricks you use to manifest and how often you say it. In the meantime, hit the subscribe button and like, and I will see you next time. Clicker. We're manifesting. My clicker works. I love you guys. Have a great day.